What is going on, guys? This is AeroFinnx here, and today we are in MCDaily again in Minecraft. And today is a very different topic, like whatever what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to be finishing off the bedroom up here. But what I wanted to talk about was like dealing with like hate, if you want to put it that way. So like, say someone comments on something on Facebook or something saying, oh, he's super gay or whatever, like just horrible comments or whatever. It's just dealing with that. Now there's a story behind why I want to do this, and you might have seen going around the internet, as everything does, the owner of Flappy Birds has chosen to withdraw his app from the market, like from the iOS store and from the Play Store, purely because he just didn't want to deal with the amount of hate and everything that he got on his videos. That makes no sense. On his app and everything. Like it's crazy. Like, some people don't understand it. He was making about £50,000 every day, so that's 50 grand a day. And he chose to withdraw it purely because some people, or a lot of people, were just making bad comments about him, sending him death threats and everything. It was getting ridiculous. But that happened, and he's chosen to withdraw his app from the App Store. So now, I don't know if it's in process yet, but I think he said like a while ago, like yesterday, that in 22 hours or something you will no longer be able to download Flappy Bird. So it's obviously pretty recent, so right now you might not even be able to download it. Like, and for something like a game that you've created, yeah, he obviously didn't like the kind of abuse he was getting. But there's two views to the side of the story, really. There's the one view where we all feel really sorry for this guy, and it's understandable that he took his app down because of the death threats and everything. But then there's another side where people are like, well, everyone who is internet famous gets this kind of stuff, so why can't you deal with it like everyone else? I mean, he's making £50,000 a day, so isn't it worth taking it and then getting that 50 grand a day? Well, it all depends on the person, really, because obviously, for whatever reason, he just didn't want to have to deal with that abuse anymore, so he just got rid of it and decided, you know what, I don't care if I'm making loads of money off it, this isn't right being treated this way or whatever, and just took it off. So it all depends on who you are. Like him, he just didn't want to have to deal with it, but then there's other people who can just take comments like, and they pass straight over their head or whatever. It just depends on who you are, really. But the best way that I think to deal with comments like that, depending on who you are, is just don't feed the troll. I know that's a common saying, but don't feed the troll, because if you react and feed them, then they're basically winning and you're losing, effectively. Like, they're getting what they want, and all they want is a reaction. And in the case of the Flappy Birds guy, I'm not sure on his name, he reacted the way that people wanted him to, and you can no longer get his app. But the way that you deal with things all depends on who you are, because some people just can't, or just don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. Now, it makes perfect sense for the guy to do what he did, and if it was me, I wouldn't have taken the app down. I would just have ignored everyone, to be honest. But that's me. I could do that, or maybe I couldn't. I don't know. I'm not in that situation. But whatever someone decides to do about this kind of thing, you have to respect their decision. There's no point worrying about money. In his eyes, money doesn't matter, does it? Like, for him, nothing, not even £50,000 a day, is good enough to justify someone being abused in that way, if you see what I mean. he, to me, is a very strong guy to be able to do that. He's very real with himself, and he's very pure. Pure, I don't know if that's the right word, but I respect him for what he did, to be fair, so I have a lot of respect for that dude. But he said he was going to continue making games, so you never know, he might make another another amazing game that everyone gets, and hopefully this time people will love it, because that guy, for what he's had, deserves, you know, he just deserves to be praised for what he does rather than hated on. Flappy Birds, yes, it's a very hard game, yes, it frustrates everyone, but that doesn't justify you going out and then sending a guy death threats just because his game's hard. I mean, what kind of world do we live in if that happens? It's pretty crazy, to be fair. I don't understand it, but that guy, I respect that guy. And anyway, in the case of you as a person dealing with this kind of stuff, you can choose to ignore it, because then you won't be feeding the fuel or fueling the trolls or whatever, and it'll work. Yeah, why not? You might see it all the time, but it'll work. They'll just quit, hopefully, after time. I mean, there are cases of some people taking it into legal measures, but for me, someone taking it into the law and stuff, to me it's like wasting police time. That's my opinion. Obviously for some others, if it's that serious, then yeah, then take it to the police or whatever, but obviously it has to be extremely serious. This is just, if it's just stuff on Facebook or Twitter, like all that kind of stuff, making comments and everything, then truthfully it's not that bad, is it? It's not that bad. It could be worse. Just imagine having death threats or something. It could be worse. There's always a case where it could be worse, so you just got to think of it in that sense. Are you in the worst case scenario right now? Probably not. You are probably not worse off in the worst case scenario. There is someone, and I can bet there is someone in a worse case than you. And if you are that person in the worst case, then I'm sorry for you. But I am sorry. But yeah, it's hard to deal with this kind of thing. But unfortunately it has to be done. And that you can't hide from it. If you try and hide from it, personally, hiding from problems never works. So, oh, that's a good spot for bed actually. Hiding from problems never works. So you either hit the ground running, fire straight on, or you don't at all. I mean, I just got a retweet then. Either you just fight, either you hit it like dead on, sort it out, or you don't do anything at all. And then if you don't do anything at all, it's stuffed, because if you don't do anything, then you'll never progress. You'll never get over the fact that what has happened, and you'll never move further on. So, all in all, if you have problems, pretend you're looking from the outside. Is it really that bad? If your answer is no, then the answer is no. Carry on. Do what you're doing. Just carry on with your life. Ignore the trolls. Don't fuel the fire. Because if you fuel the fire is just going to keep burning. That's a good quote. If you fuel the fire is just going to keep burning. So if you don't fuel it, it ain't going to keep going, and everything will sort out over time. It might take a while, but it'll get sorted out over time. And that's pretty much all my advice on things like that. I mean, personally, I haven't had to deal with anything that bad, so I could just be talking complete rubbish. But if you take it on any of what I've said, then I'm sure things will improve. I've got a lot more moments, and things will be better for you. So just keep on going, because it can't really be that bad. And the cliche thing is, it will always get better, and that is true, but it's a bit cliche these days. And the sun is setting in Minecraft. That means an end of an episode. The end of an era! That makes no sense. But anyway, it's the end of the episode of MCDaily. I hope you have enjoyed and take on what I say, because I personally think there's some good advice there, otherwise I won't be telling you. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for MC Daily. Watch out for that special video on Minecrafters, and I will see you then. Goodbye. What am I even doing? Bye.